Yeah, the imperative versus declarative is it's a huge deal, and it really kind of lays the groundwork for also what tools you have at your disposal. Once we get down to the roots of it, imperative is the step-by-step process of performing a task. So with that, because you're going through the one, two, threes of performing the task, you have to have intimate knowledge of the task that's being performed. And so then, like for a virtual machine instance there, you need to know that you need to, right click on the specific area where it needs to live. You need to create the virtual machine. You need to go through the VM wizard to get to that endpoint. You need to know that entire process. Whereas on the declarative side, it's a different situation, and I'll get into that here in just a second. But once when you're taking care of things on the imperative side, you're kind of it's with you throughout its entire life cycle. So troubleshooting, performing updates and upgrades, and really anything else that's going to be required of that system until the end of its usefulness. So going back to my love of scale, the imperative tools can kind of lead to snowflakes or extremely unique situations where systems aren't going to exactly be the same anymore. This could be human error. This could be, timing on when one system receives its patches or updates, or, really a list of a whole host of other things. So then when we come on to the declarative side, this is basically just describing what you want that outcome to be, and then the tool handles all of those imperative processes for you, so that you don't actually have to worry about it anymore. That's abstracted away from you. So if we, kind of change the way that we think about this and put it into the perspective of, say, a three-tier app, you're going to have the operating system, you're going to have a database, you're going to have an application, and you're probably going to have a front end for it as well. Each of these are going to have their own versions and configurations that are responsible for somebody. Standing it up on the imperative side, pretty straightforward. You can script a lot of that. You can run through the process, and everything's good. However, human error is kind of a thing, so there's always going to be those checks and balances to verify that everything is as described. But on the declarative side, it's a little different. Instead of going through the process of one, two, three, you describe what you want it to be. You tell it what version you want it to be. You want what you want the configurations to be. It handles it. It manages it. It makes it so. So at this point, we're kind of off and running with our three-tier app. But what happens at update time? The story is drastically different here. So on the imperative side, managing, these systems are going to be updated in place. Somebody's going to have to interact with this system. They're going to have to, either run a script, run some sort of updates, get it up to a, known good configuration. However, on the declarative side, we actually destroy it and recreate it at that new level. So there's no, getting from point A to point B. It's like that process is gone. You're always just getting to point A. And this is kind of important when it comes to troubleshooting as well. Imperatively managed systems are going to be interactively troubleshot. You're going to have somebody logging into the system. They're going to be doing things. They have tools to analyze the configuration and see what's going on. Whereas the declarative side, we just destroy it, just redeploy it back, and send it back to that known good configuration, and you're all set. Now, one of the things that kind of spoke to me as far as the difference between the imperative and declarative models here was the amount of time I spent on validation for my imperative scripts. So when I'm creating a PowerShell or a Power CLI script or function, like there's a lot of validation that has to go on because I have to be comfortable in where a system is in its current state. So I've written scripts where the validation is 100, 200 lines, whereas the actual code to do stuff is 1, 2 lines. Very very simple, very straightforward code. But you have to make sure that the environment's ready for that. And so the declarative side gets rid of a lot of that, a lot of those issues, a lot of the troubleshooting, a lot of the Well, something interrupted. Well, you don't have to worry about that on the declarative side because you just remove, recreate, you're off and running. And so that was another thing that kind of really spoke to me in terms of where I spent a lot of my cycles when I'm creating some of these resources that are shareable either for internal teams or out to the community.